This is the Lorna live. I'm gonna wait for Lorna to get on here. Hopefully it works. Everything works. Last time it worked good, so I'm just hoping it works. Okay. So I'm gonna shuffle. I already saged and lit some Palo Santo beforehand. Hey, but yeah, so I'm already kind of cleansed. I'm actually kind of tired. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. Hey, Lorna. Okay, I'm gonna invite you. Here, I'm gonna invite you. Let me make sure my volume's up. Okay, it's up a little bit. Okay. Hey everyone. I don't know why my name always auto presses that. Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you
I'm
see
good.
me and all that?
Yeah, it's working good. I'm glad it worked because I don't know. I know you were confused about it. Your husband called me right before. I'm like, hopefully, because I sent like instructions, so I'm like, hopefully it works. I don't know, but it works. So
Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Okay. All right, because that's as loud as it's going to go.
Okay.
All right, so you listen correctly.
All right.
I'll leave it.
Just talk really loud.
yeah, I talk loud too. I hope I don't talk over you because I'm a Leo, so I have the tendency to talk over people at times. So if I do, I apologize in advance.
That's okay.
So have you ever done a tarot reading before, or is this?
No.
Oh wow, yeah. Tarot
No.
readings are. The first tarot reading I got, it was crazy because I called like one of the cards, like the first card, and like it flew out at me, so it was kind of weird. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I've never done anything like this. Only because I think I've always been too frightened to I don't know, maybe to see if people are going to tell me what the future is, and maybe I just want to live in the present and
yeah.
sort
I
of
definitely get that.
sort of not know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, to maybe be sort of a cockeyed optimist and say, okay, everything's going to be all right. And I don't know. I that's why maybe I've never done it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I pick up on outcomes that can change also because the future's not definite. So if you don't like something, you could always change it. But also if you like it, you can't make sure to try to like strive to get that outcome too much. You kind of just have to live naturally because sometimes, for example, I've done this before. I want the outcome that I heard in a reading, so I'm trying so hard to like shift my future in a way towards that outcome, and sometimes you just need to live because that's how it's going to happen by living your normal life. You can't like try to force something. um it's hard, but I've been reading for 3 years now, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. I'm not like trying to overdo it, but if you're like a heavy reader and you're just getting into it, like you tend to abuse it at first. I feel like a little bit, like that's what I hear from a lot of people, but once you get used to it more, it's kind of just like not that exciting as much. It's still exciting, but like it's not like you're. It's like I'm explaining this really bad, but you're like adjusted to it more, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, as I said, I don't know. Uh, I've never had I've never had my palm read, or I've never had any of that, or I've never been in a position that someone's offered to do that.
Yeah,
So this will be my I guess I'm a virgin. That's the only virgin thing I've never done. So
I mean, it's good to try something new. I mean, I hope it resonates. I'm not always perfect, so I hope it resonates. Like fingers crossed, but I think I'll do good. So,
okay.
what's your first question? Do you want to go by topic or do you want to go by question? Because you could ask a specific question, or you could go by like, oh, I want to love reading, for example.
No, I don't know. Why don't you tell me what you think the best I guess you go by the topic, right?
I on lives I prefer to go by question, honestly, but it's fine either way. I can do like either or.
Okay, I think what I'd really like, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to ask what the future is going to look like, but I'd like to know what I guess what I'd like to know is what kind of positive energy, or what the cards are saying as far as the future in my career and my health and all of the things that I would like to sort of, focus on.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about career first. We're gonna go into it like specifically, so I get the most specific answers. Spirit, please give me a future career reading or not. Okay. The World card. This is really good energy. More recognition for your work, if that makes sense. I almost feel like you're getting your flowers more so going into the future. It could be in the next 2 years, like 20 months. I think that's like 2 years. Yeah, like a year and a half. I feel like they're going to get more flowers when it comes to your work specifically. Like there's going to be more of a spotlight on you. So there could be a project coming in that gives you more recognition. I'm getting more theater vibes, or maybe it's in the theater world more so with the World card, because I think you're more theater, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think you are, but you've done everything. But
Yeah.
theater specifically, because I feel like you can shine in that world more so, because it's more 360 over like film acting. It's more selective, if that makes sense. Like it's mostly just acting, but in the theater world, you can do like, say, I guess you can in like films too, but in theater, it's like musicals, acting, dancing. So I feel like you'll get more recognition in that realm. Two of Wands. There is going to be a decision you have to make. Like there's like a path you have to, or there's two paths you have to pick from. Two of Wands, and that can be this energy, get it in your head too much. Are you a Sagittarius?
No.
I thought you were Sagittarius. I saw that online. Wait, what's your sign?
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, wait, what's your birthday?
November 21st.
Oh, I thought it was 27 for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. But yeah, you're a Scorpio. Okay, my mom's a Scorpio. So yeah, but with the Two of Wands, this is energy. This is fire energy. It's like being in your head too much. And with the Two of Wands, since it's fire energy, like fire energy is very passionate energy. So there could be like two passions, or there's two projects you want to pick between, but it's really hard. But intuitively, you're going to know where to go with it. And yes, it's good to pick based off what's going to be best for your career, but you have to pick what's passionate for you as well with this Wands energy, fire energy. So it's like picking what you're passionate about, because I feel like that's going to lead to more success. Yes, this other option seems logistically more like powerful or more successful career-wise, but for some reason I feel like the more passionate option is going to be what's going to succeed more, if that makes sense. Like I feel like that the passion's going to manifest more that way.
Okay.
Six of Cups. This is like past energy. Yeah, I'm getting this energy. Someone's going to revisit your work in some type of way. Like it's something from your past, and that's going to be like put to the forefront. It's almost like this re-releasing type of energy, or like, yeah, like reloaded type of energy. So something might like be re-released or remastered. It could be something from your past. Six of Cups. Yeah, this is like childhood energy. I don't know if it's necessarily from your childhood. It just could be from your past. There could be an article also with the Six of Cups by a younger reporter that could be in their 20s or 30s, and they're going to review your work. It could be on like a bigger magazine, or like an internet publication. I actually think it's going to be an internet publication. Probably, actually, it could be in the next 6 months, but like I said, the timeline can always change. I'm not great at predicting time. So with the World card being like 20, it could be in the next 20 months, but 6 months kind of sticks out a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to say 6 months. Someone's going to be reviewing your work, and it's on a bigger publication, and it's going to drive a lot of people to you on social media, but just in general. But I feel like for some reason your social media presence is going to grow from this recognition.
Wow. Okay.
And then the King of Wands. I'm going to pull another card on that one. Spirit, the King of Wands. I need clarity on that one. The Emperor card. Is there an Aries in your life? Because this is like heavy Aries energy. King of Wands and Emperor card is Aries.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Aries is like late March, like April.
Just in Aries?
No. No. No, my children. No. I'm trying to think of well, my grandchildren, no, I don't have uh, most of my family are May and June and September. So,
Yeah, and this could be in your career. This could be someone you're going to work with, like an Aries figure, or they could just embody this energy because this is very
oh,
much like the divine masculine energy. So it's kind of like the archetype of like the male, I guess. I mean, you can be a woman and be divine masculine, but yeah, with this energy, I feel like you're going to be working with someone that embodies this energy. It could be someone powerful in the industry. It could be someone very well known, very well versed in their career, like they built up a really good resume, and it's someone you've been wanting to work with forever. Like I feel like it's someone you've really like set your eyes on to when it comes to working with them. It's almost like you manifested it in a way with the King of Wands, because it's like the passionate energy.
okay.
I just feel like for some reason you're gonna boss up when it comes to your career. I'm not saying you aren't right now, but I just feel like you're gonna go to another level. And I'm not just saying this. Literally, sometimes I get like really bad things, and I feel bad saying it to someone. But I'm like actually getting good energy, which I get good energy too. But I'm not like trying to like be like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, like everything's gonna work out. I'm not like one of those type of readers. But with the King of Wands and the Emperor card, yeah, I really think you are gonna like. I think for some, there's like a male energy entering that's really going to help you showcase yourself more, or you're going to work really well with them. It could even be like a musical thing, because I always picture Wands energy is very boisterous, because Wands can be Leo energy, for example. I'm a Leo, so I kind of know too much about Leos or whatever, but Leo is very boisterous to me, so it could be something to do with singing as well. It could be like a tribute or something as well. King of Wands and Emperor card. Because Emperor card can be kind of a classic type of energy in a way, so it could be like a tribute, it could be like a cover as well. So I'm getting something to do with that. Time-wise, I'm not really getting much on. It could be next Aries season also. So like next year in March or April, this could be occurring. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, that actually makes sense with these cards. Let me pull one more on this. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles, the seeds that you've planted a long time ago are finally coming to fruition. Like you've been watering, like, this is like metaphorical, but you've been watering the plants of like things you've been planting when it comes to your career for a long time, and you're finally seeing it growing into like a flower. And by that, I mean things are really going to be fruitful for you. 8 months. I really feel like actually, when is 8 months from now? I'm like terrible at math. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. December. So I feel like by the end of the year, early next year, things are really gonna like. I'm not saying they're bad right now, but they're gonna really
End
start
of this year or next or the following year?
So I'm gonna say December 2021 going into, or I would just say like the end, like the fall part. Like I would say like November going into like January, things are going to start moving. Like I'm picturing a graph right now, and it's like moving up like this. So things are going to start booming more. So I'm not saying they're not right now, but they're really going to start like growing really quickly. I think it's something, it's like you revisiting the past, whether it's something in your career, it could be a tribute as well. I think it could be multiple things as well. This, the Emperor card's an energy of like having 80 things going on at once, because that's just very fire energy, like starting stuff and like putting everything out there. But with that fire energy as well, you have to be careful of not putting too much out there and overworking yourself. I'm a Leo sun, Sag moon, so, and those are both fire signs, so I tend to like put out a ton of projects and like I burn myself out. So you have to be careful of that. So that's why I was saying before, you need to be very selective of what you
Yeah, but I mean, listen, you know, this has just been this whole year and all of last, you know, year since March. This has just, it's been quite devastating to everyone in this business as far as work goes, as far as relationships. Before, you know, we've gone into hiding in our houses for more than a year and a half. So we're all, I think, really, really ready to go back to some kind of normalcy. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I know that I feel that I am completely ready to, in a way, join the human race again. And whenever that's going to be, and when we can open up and we can have an audience and we can get back to just being with our friends and being all that. And that's why I think that it's so vital that everybody right now just listen and do the right thing as far as making all of that happen. And it's a very, very, very weird time because I know this is going to sound trivial and sort of weird, but like today, you know, yesterday we had, you know, our president come out and say no more masks and everything. If you've been vaccinated, everything's great. And today I went to a restaurant and everybody is still masked and everybody, and I thought, okay, what's happening? And I said to the girl around the restaurant, I said, do we have to wear what's happening? And they said, basically it's a trickle down effect. And we haven't gotten to a point where we have been told anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, in a very strange way, I feel that, I think all of us in this industry, we all want to go back to work. We all want an audience. We all want shows. We all want to be in a theater. But we have to wait to be told, can we do that? Will our audiences feel safe? Will they come back? And it's just right now a big question mark for all of us.
Yeah, I think things are starting to go back to normal. For example, I live in Milwaukee and we have Summerfest here, which is like the biggest music festival in the world. And actually they're doing it in September this year, which I thought they canceled it. So I think things are starting to come back. Usually Summerfest is in July or like June and July. So it's a little...
But they're not doing it in June and July.
Yeah. So things are like delayed a little bit, but I think things are, by the fall time, I think things are going to get better, but who knows, things could change because fall can be like a bad season when it comes to like the flu season and stuff. But I think things are good. From this energy, I see a lot of work for you coming in. I see a lot of like recording specifically though, like music and recording. So yeah, we're going to manifest it to you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you know, I've never, ever, it's just been a very, very, very interesting and weird time for all of us who are in the entertainment field, because every single time there has been a major, major disruption in the history of the United States and Europe and all of that. Show business has flourished. Show business has gone on. Show business has always been there for everybody to literally sit in a theater or go to a movie or go to something to get away from reality. This time,
the pandemic,
I just felt like we were on the Autobahn going 60 miles an hour. We never even got to the yellow sign. We just were told to stop.
Yeah.
And we've never had that.
Yeah, and things had to move to virtual, and not everyone is apt to be like a virtual entertainer, if that makes sense. It's not for everyone. So some people are kind of like halted permanently. Some people thrive on it, honestly. Some people don't. Like I've seen some people really build a platform out of this quarantine or this like pandemic, but some people have issues with it because that's not how they perform. So it can be very rough for people.
Well, I mean, I have to say, between how I actually feel is I got it at the beginning. I was interested. I am not technically savvy, whatever. Thank God my husband is here to connect, but we've all had a learning experience about how to do that. But in a way, to be honest, I'm really tired of being a Hollywood square. I want to get out now and see people. I don't want to just have this. I mean, I would love to say, okay, Ethan, we'll meet at a certain point and we will be there to get, you know, I'm sort of done with all of the techno stuff, only because I guess I'm frustrated because I can't really do it. And I find that it is soul destroying in a way.
Yeah,
because
for me.
I love people. I love going and seeing their faces and hearing their thoughts and applause and their laughter and all that. I'm ready to do that again.
Yeah, for me, like for example, I do online college right now, but I did online high school for my last 2 years, so I know how isolating it is just to be like in an online world because I did that before the quarantine. So I understand. Like I've known this already, like even before the quarantine, that can be very isolating. So it'll be good to get back to normal. For
Whatever
everyone to get back to
normal's going
normal.
to be, I think we're going to be in a new normal.
Yeah,
And if
I
that,
For me, though, I
if
think
it
by
just,
November, if things are going to go back to normal, the death card, this is Scorpio energy. I think this is at the bottom of the deck. I think this is a good, like, message. I think things are going to be more normal for you by November time. Like I was saying before, November, December, that's when, like, maybe, like, I don't know if you do, like, Christmas shows or something, but that could be the start of things going back to normal. Christmas, that would make sense with the death card, like, late November-ish.
well, I know that I have dates coming in for October and November, and hopefully they'll keep building in and all of that in December. I personally, I'd like it all happen tomorrow, but
Yeah,
I sort of, I feel like I like, I've always told my children, and my grandchildren that things are not instant. Well, guess what? I really would like them to be instant right now.
yeah, we say that, but then we're like, oh my God, I want it to happen right now. That's always me. That always happens when I say that. I always want it to happen right now. But I think things are going to work out with the death for being at the bottom of the deck, and you are a Scorpio, so I almost think it's like a good omen for you when it comes to your career. And October, actually, end of October is Scorpio season, so maybe around your birthday, that's when things are gonna like revitalize for you when it comes to your career, and just in general for people, things are gonna revitalize when it comes to the entertainment world and other worlds. I miss concerts. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been to one in almost like 2 years, so.
Well, I hope so. I really do. I just don't want to have anyone, I really want people to stay healthy. I really want people to, you know, to take their health not for granted, but as a gift.
Yeah, and that was the lesson I feel like the universe was actually trying to teach us. I picked up on that before the pandemic started. Honestly, I sucked at the pandemic reading because I was probably biased, but I did pick up on that message specifically. Like the universe wants us to not take our health and like the environment for granted more. So hopefully people learn, but humans are very stubborn. So hopefully there's some change, but I don't know. I'm kind of like a skeptic when it comes to that. I'm a Capricorn rising, so I have that like pessimism in me. So I'm trying to be positive when it comes to that, though.
I hope that, I guess maybe it's, I pride myself on making sure that I am never selfish, but selfless, and that I want everything for everyone else before myself. And
Yeah,
that's why I want people to just understand. I mean, listen, when you think about it, Ethan, what we've been through in a year, if I wrote it in a script and I gave it to you, you would throw it out and say, okay, you've lost your mind. That's not going to happen.
well, it'd be a cool
And
play, but now that it actually happens, it's kind of like we don't want it. Like we can throw it out now, but yeah.
I mean, we've gone through a lot. We really have. And it was interesting because when I got my vaccine, I had such a weird reaction. I started to cry.
Really?
And I thought to myself, it's sort of like a release. We've had so much thrown at us. And this was like sunshine and hope in a syringe. And I hate needles. But honey, when it came to that, bring it on. I was like,
Right.
here, here's my arm. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I was so afraid to get the vaccine because I know this has nothing to do with the vaccine, but I actually had like a severe allergic reaction a few months before I got the vaccine. So I was like definitely afraid, but on it, I didn't really have a reaction at all. The first one I had like hot flashes, but the second one I didn't really have anything. So I
I
was
didn't
lucky.
have anything, and I was really early, really early, and it was totally by luck that I got a call from my doctor saying someone's not going to show up. Do you want this? And I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't, I was doing everything that everybody else was going onto websites and trying to get it and all of that, and just be, standing in line and doing the proper thing with, not jumping the line and making sure healthcare workers got it first and doing all of that. But then when somebody called me and said, look, this is, we're going to have to throw this out. I said, no, don't throw it out. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I was really, and I was scared, but I thought I'm more scared of getting sick than I was, getting the vaccine.
I'm not really scared of getting sick personally, but I have people in my family that are older or they have health conditions, so I'm more concerned about them. That's why I got the vaccine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. So I don't want to get sick either, honestly. Like, I really don't want to deal with that. Like, I'm not, like, in the mood. But if I got sick, I'd probably be fine. I don't know, though. You never know. You could, like, have a terrible reaction to it. But I think I'd be fine. I don't know. I'm kind of out of shape right now, so I'm not, like, in the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you say who's in shape, I mean, please. I mean, I don't know how everybody's remembered to spell the word gym. Never mind, go to one.
I don't think I've ever been to a gym.
That's okay. Fine.
I mean, I don't know, but yeah. So, do you have any other questions for the cards?
No, I just want to. I'm glad that this was positive and that it looks like we will all be going back to whatever our normal is, and that we will just not expect it to be as fast as we would like, and not to get frustrated, and not to and sort of, I guess, have the mentality of people are going to do what they're going to do at their own pace. And theater owners and people who own things like live venues are going to open at their own pace. That's not going to be my pace, but
and they're going to be cautious of going in too quickly, because I feel like if we start doing events too quickly, things are going to start like progressing again. So you have to do it slowly. I mean, people are vaccinated now, but still, I'm still going to wear a mask. I like wearing a mask, honestly. I don't know. I have like social anxiety, so maybe that's why, but I'm going to wear a mask because it's going to protect others too, or give others comfort at least. Even if you're not protecting them necessarily, I guess it's a good comfort. I guess it's your choice to wear a mask. I'm not going to force anyone to, but I personally recommend it, especially if you're not vaccinated. But
I just feel, I feel there's a responsibility that comes with our health, not only to ourselves, but to others. And when I heard all the science and all of that yesterday say we do not need to wear masks, I was extraordinarily happy. And I thought to myself, if you do, that's your personal choice, and that's okay. That's all right also. But if I choose to know that I'm fully vaccinated and that I can go outside and I can walk into a restaurant, because we still put a mask on, walk into a restaurant, then take it off. But now I go like this, really?
It doesn't really necessarily make sense, but I feel like a lot of it's just like a social oh my God, my stomach was growling really loud. Sorry. It's like a social construct at this point. So, I mean, it's good to have like a sense of security, but eventually we're going to have to let go of it. But there's still places where people wear masks from like the SARS virus from like 20 years ago almost. So who knows, things might just change.
Yeah, but you know something that's my husband and I lived in Japan for a while. So we are so used to, seeing people in masks that this was no big deal.
Yeah, this was just a
And we
normal
found it
Tuesday.
when we first went to Japan. I thought that it was very polite because I always thought, oh, they're wearing masks because maybe they have a cold or a flu or this, that, and the other, and they don't want to spread it. I thought it was always polite, so it was no big deal to see audiences or anything. Because when I worked in Japan, they're wearing a mask, and it was not. I was really sort of surprised, disappointed, angered, and a lot of things about what the whole mask wearing thing became.
Drama, like stupid drama. Like it became a political issue that wasn't a political issue in the first place. I'm just like, oh my, I just can't even look at that stuff anymore. I just get annoyed. Like I just cannot. I just like try to stay separate from
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I basically, because of, traveling in China, traveling in Japan, traveling throughout the Orient, I've been around, people who wear masks, and it didn't bother me. And I just kept saying to myself when this all started happening, I don't get the big deal. But then, as you said, then it
Politicized.
became politicized. And then I thought, oh, here we go. All right. And then I that's when I, grab the clicker and I go to, Turner Classic Movies because I can't anymore.
Yeah, you need to watch the news. Honestly, I sound old, but I watch The View every day because I need to watch it in video format.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to say this. I am extremely lucky to say this. I am honored to say that Whoopi Goldberg's my friend.
Really?
So
oh my God.
I'm honored, and I watch the show every single day. I've known Joy for a very long time.
I was just gonna say something about her. No, I just love Joy. Yeah, she's cool.
Joy she's such Joy. I love the fact that Joy does not have a filter. Okay.
Yeah.
And that she just says it, and she's never changed. She's always been like that. And that's what I enjoy about it. I love the fact that you know where you stand with Joy. She's going to there's very little gray. It's a lot of black and white, and I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. I don't know the other three girls, but I watch the show every single day.
Meghan McCain is not my favorite, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
No, but you want to know something? I think it's a good mix because I think that they've always had a good mix since Barbara Walters started the show. And I think that they've always had a good mix of, it's not going to be, the reason of that show is that everybody has a different point of view. And I love the fact that you may not agree with someone on the show.
Yeah, I love
with
Anna,
like
actually.
that, but listen to what they're saying. Or that's all. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it because of your own point, but maybe you'll learn something, just maybe. So I'm always
learn their point of view at least, if anything, because I'm good at understanding other people's point of views. Even if I don't agree with it, I can put myself in their shoes and like logistically really like feel it out, if that makes sense. Like I might not agree with something, but I can really get into it if I like need to understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they all come from a way of journalism and law and all sorts of things that they're smart, beautiful, attractive, good, kind women that have a point of view. And I've been watching the show pretty much since day one.
I mean, so I was born in 2000, so I couldn't watch it since day one. I've been watching it for like 3 years now, so I'm kind of a new viewer. But I really like it, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do like the drama. Some days I do like the drama. I'm not gonna lie, but some days I'm just like, I do not want the drama. True.
I mean, there are days where I watch. I am a news junkie, and I mean that is something that Uh, I guess my husband is always saying to me, "Can we watch?" And I flip with all of the channels. I watch them all just because of seeing what people are saying, and I think it's also a way to just stay current with sometimes the actual news and not opinion, which I wish there was more actual news.
Yeah.
But then again, I also find that if there is an event, that's it's information. And because
Yeah.
I don't do social media at all.
You don't? You should.
No,
Social actually don't. Like I'm addicted to social media. It's not worth it. Well,
I know, but Ethan, you look like you're 12 years old.
I'm
Um,
20, so yeah, I'm almost
yeah,
21.
you're 12 years old.
Yeah.
So,
I look 12, yeah.
yeah. And when you're 20, you are 12.
I
I
agree,
just
yeah.
I find social media, it scares me. I've never done it, but I was also brought up to everything was, I guess we had people to protect us from the media. We had, my mother certainly did when she was growing up and going through all of her career at MGM. So we were never, ever, ever taught to court media or anything. And I just found myself not liking I mean, when I lived in New York City, when I was, in my 20s, I didn't even know my neighbors. So why would I want to
Yeah.
know? I don't do social media. And I understand it because I have my children and they have their husbands and wives and now the little ones. And I
Are they
understand it.
Gen Z? How old are they? Sorry, I'm interrupting, but
What?
how old are your grandkids? Are they Gen
They're
Z?
4, 4, and 5.
Oh, they're not even Gen Z. They're the next generation.
No. They're 4, 4, and 5, but they know about it.
Yeah, I
But
I
then
didn't really start social
my
media until I
daughter
was like,
and sorry.
yeah. I didn't really start social media until I was like 10 years old, which seems very young, but nowadays it's not young at all. Like that's like pretty old now. So I had a childhood outside of the internet. Like I grew up outside and stuff too. But I've been making videos on YouTube since I was like 9 or whatever, but that's like an outlet for me. So there was goods
Okay.
and negatives when it comes to that, but it's good just to live your life outside of the computer, but it's very hard nowadays. Like around the time I was born, it was kind of like in between like the internet and like going outside. So I had like both, but now it's just like iPad and like go do whatever. Like that's what parents do usually.
Yeah. No, I get it. I do. I get it. I understand it. To me, it terrifies me. Um, I just feel, I guess I was raised, and also I feel that I like to know that there is a mystique about people,
Yeah, that's
and
what's
that I
really
don't know everything about them, and I don't see them, and
yeah,
I've
that's
not
what's
seen them.
killing the world of celebrity. Like I feel like that's what's killing pop culture right now. Like social media is killing pop culture because of that actually. So yeah.
I feel that I love the fact that I don't know about certain people. And I love that. I do, because it's made me, and I've grown up like that. It's made me, when I say that I love an actor, I'm talking about their work.
Their persona more so, not like their like drama or
No,
whatever.
no, not their work. I mean,
Well, that's what I mean
I
by
will always,
persona. I mean, that's what I meant by persona, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, I find if I say I love someone, I'm talking about their work, and not, and when something comes up of their personal life, I'm sort of not interested. I just feel that I feel in a way that I'm looking through someone's keyhole, and I don't want to do that.
for me, I like to look at some of that stuff sometimes, but it depends the person. I have to like the person. I don't care about Kim Kardashian, for example. Like, no shade at her, but I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't get why she's famous, but like, she made something out of nothing, so good for her. So I'm not trying to be
Oh,
shady,
no.
but I am
But
too.
see, I think that that's the one thing about social media that I don't understand and I don't like at all is that people use it as a weapon against other people.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. If you want to get out and you have a film, a television series, whatever you want to do in your career and you want to get out and promote it, I think that's great. And that's when I think it's all good. But I mean, the thought for
A
me,
lot of
this is
people
just,
start fake drama though to promote stuff nowadays. Like, or they'll start social media beefs with people to like promote their projects though. So that's how people promote nowadays. Like, they'll get into drama, they'll have a breakdown, which is really not just publicity. So I don't
oh,
even.
but I just think, I find it invasive and it frightens me. And my kids, we've had this big long discussion. We have rules about phones at dinner tables, restaurants, anything like that. It drives me insane. It also, listen,
You're a Scorpio. I feel like
I
all
feel like I'm a
Scorpios are like
dinosaur,
this.
and I don't want to go and sit at a lunch table or dinner table and have someone staring at their phone. I think it's rude and it drives me nuts. And I will say something. I really will. I want to say, unless someone is calling 911 and there is some dire emergency and someone's going into the operating room, put the phone away.
Yeah, you're a Scorpio. My Scorpio mom's kind of like that, and my Scorpio brother. So it's a Scorpio thing. Well, you guys like like you said, you like the mystique. You like just being in the moment. Like, for me, I'm a Leo, so I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I can be too hyper because I do my tarot business, so I'm kind of focused on my brand at times too much, and it's kind of annoying. Honestly, I wish I wasn't like that, but that's how you're kind of crafted nowadays when you grow up. Like, if you're growing up right now, or you grew up in the last like even 20 years, it's like this vibe of always worrying about your social media image, like, and not living in the moment. It's really annoying, honestly.
I don't know. Did you happen to see the brilliant film called this Social Dilemma?
No, but people have been telling me about that, but I haven't seen it. But I need to see it.
You do. I mean, my children watched it and they said, well, we didn't really learn anything. And I said, well, okay, because it made me hide under the bed. I was so terrified because
Isn't it about like the
it just
ads on
terrified
Facebook,
me.
for example? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's about, I think they talk about like the ads, like on Facebook, for example. I'll talk about something like in my house with my parents and my phone's not even near, and I'll get ads about the thing I was talking about, and I'm not even like
Me
looking it
too.
up online.
And I know that, I mean, people find it to be interesting and, oh, look what's happening. I freak out and start screaming. I don't know. I mean, somebody gave me one of those machines that played music, and I thought it was nice. And
Alexa.
then when I found out
Yeah.
that it listened to you, oh, no, no, no. I unplugged it and took it away and said, oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of unplugged mine, but I usually don't use a speaker, so that's why. But I had one for a minute, but I always unplugged it every time I wasn't using it. I'm not that paranoid about it, but I was kind of like, I don't want it like on. Like, I'm just gonna like unplug it.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I just feel that there has to be some kind. I know that people always say that they want their privacy. Well, you're in charge of your privacy and you are in charge. And if you want privacy, you can create that. And no one can take that away from you if you control it. And there are certain people that have done it brilliantly. And I think to myself, isn't that great? And then I think the thought for me of having cameras in my house, because I don't want people to, I don't want to scare the children the first thing in the morning with no makeup and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. And listen, a lot of people have made a great deal of success out of it. and I think that's great for them, but I find it to be, I was raised to always hang on to your privacy.
Yeah. It's weird because I wasn't raised like that at all, and like my parents are boomers, and they're a lot more like raised on privacy or just like living your life. But for me, I'm not raised like that, so I'm very open on social media and just in general very open, and it's interesting to see the generational like differences. Like I'm Gen Z and they're boomers, so it's like a crazy difference at some points. But yeah, I think it's good that like about the mystique, I think we're lacking that now, and I think it's actually killing pop culture personally, because everyone's out and open and doing everything. Like even in music right now, I don't like any of the current music. I listen to like 90s, that's my area, or early 2000s. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the pop culture right now, and I feel like social media is killing pop culture, killing celebrities, like the classic form of celebrities, if that makes sense. So
Well, I
I'm
just
just not a
feel,
fan.
I guess this is the Scorpio in me that is passionate about certain things, and certainly relationship and letting people into your life is
Yes, I'll save
is
the
your
live, by the way.
choice. Sorry?
I was just responding to a comment. Someone asked if you'll save the live, and yes, I'll save the live. I just wanted to respond to someone. Someone was asking. Yeah, I'm like keeping up with the comments at the same time.
Okay. I've just found that I'm very, very, very grateful for people to come and to enjoy my work, and I'm very, very, very interested in the people that I want to invite to the party.
Yes,
And I
Scorpios are
feel
very
that,
exclusive. Like it's a VIP room. It's not like a general like admission room.
yeah, I do feel, and I just feel that that's a safer place for me to be in. And I'm not saying that it's wrong, because I know a lot of people who have made a huge, huge, huge career out of it, and that's great for them. I
It's
was just
not for
raised in a
everyone. It's
certain
definitely
way.
not. It even for people that do it, it's very draining. But yeah.
I mean, I think it's a lot of work. I do. I mean, I see people who are doing social media all the time, and I think that's exhausting.
It is. Like I quit for a while, like doing my business because it was so I just couldn't mentally keep up with it for a minute. But it's actually a lot more work than people think. Like you have to like make posts and edit stuff, and it takes time, and you have to put effort into it. Well, I put effort into it. Some people just take selfies or whatever, which is fine. But I don't like taking selfies like that. I used to be one of those people that was always taking selfies, but I'm kind of like, no, like maybe I'm too self-conscious. But yeah, it takes time and energy, especially if we're doing read-ins, like general read-ins, for example. It takes time and effort, and I do skits and stuff, so that takes time because I'm a perfectionist, so I need to get it right. So sometimes it takes me an hour to do like a tiny little skit online. It's very annoying. A lot of times I'm just like
I just want
criticizing
to put
myself.
on makeup and go on. I just want to put the makeup on and go on a stage. That's it. It's sort of basically, I guess I don't care about all of the frou-frou. I just want to have the basics. I want to just, I mean, the thought of selfies and this and doing all the things you do, I think that's great. And I think it's wonderful. But selfies, I can tell you that I don't think I have any of myself. I really don't. I'm too self-conscious. I'm too, I don't know. I'm just,
The
I
thing
find
is,
myself,
with being self-conscious about selfies, a lot of people on Instagram that like make their career doing like selfies and stuff, they edit their photos heavily, or they have a lot of plastic surgery fillers, which I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's not necessarily realistic. So we can't judge ourselves by that standard because it's not even a real standard. It's like edited, Photoshop, plastic surgery, all of the above. And you can do what you want. I'm not saying you can't, but you shouldn't judge yourself based off that standard. And there's always been standards like that, even back in the day, like being super skinny, or I don't know. There's always been beauty standards, but it's just different now, and you can't follow them necessarily.
That's where I find social media that scares me, and I just find it to be judgmental. And don't judge anyone before you can walk around as a perfect person, and no one's perfect. So why would you judge anyone else? I just find it, I mean, if I want to judge myself and want to not do certain things and not, that's, again, maybe it's a control issue. I will control that. But anything I do when I go out of my house, as far as, I just don't want to bring it with me. I feel like I want to walk around the supermarket without any makeup and all of that. I want to be able to do and not have somebody put it on social media and all that, which is just right now, there's no privacy, but we have done that to ourselves.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, celebrities probably love wearing masks because it's harder. Well, some of them still get identified either way, but it's easier to have a mystique about you. Like, you probably blend in more, like more so than before. Well, some people
I think so. I think it sucks for the lipstick companies.
Yeah.
I think
some people, I don't know, some people like to get paparazzi because it's like a promotion thing. I don't know. I would hate it. I have social anxiety. Like, literally, one time in high school, a few times in high school, this girl who was like a hater or whatever would literally take pictures of me just randomly. So I know that's really stupid, but I kind of know how it feels to have random pictures being taken of you and like posted online, and pictures that aren't great at that. So I would hate that personally. Like, I would not be calling paparazzi on myself if I was a celebrity, because like, no, like I would have to edit the photos myself.
You know something, I feel that, I mean, I guess because of my age, and have lived through and growing up in a show business family, and it's show, but it also is business, and being taught the ropes by experience of just life. I've learned that we judge ourselves a lot, all of us in show business, by our audiences and what they enjoy. And I think all our job is to do a good show. And to that, what we owe an audience. We owe the people that have paid their money and bought our records or watch our TV. I think we owe them 1,000% of our work that way. But when it comes to everything else,
definitely.
I just find myself, I think to myself, that's where I draw, I sort of close the door and say, no, I can't come in.
Yeah, I don't have boundaries like that, which I wish I did. Honestly, I really wish I did, but I don't have, it's like a generational thing, but it's also a me thing as well. But I wish I had boundaries.
You don't have boundaries?
Yeah, I'm just terrible with boundaries. I don't know. I'm working on it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm overly trusting. I'm overly, like, expressive.
That's not
bad. People can walk over that. There's a fine line. You have to be careful with it.
I think you do. But again, you will find that out as you grow up, and it's life. And find easier. I think what I think a lot about is I think, wow, when I was going back to my 20s and all of that, and I think to myself what I did, and I think to myself, either that was really, really a bold move, or you were really stupid. I mean, it's funny, because what you will do in your 20s, you will not do in your 60s.
Definitely. Even like a few years ago, I'm like, wow, that was really stupid. So like, I changed a lot very rapidly. So even like a year ago, I'm just like criticizing, like myself from a year ago, I'm like criticizing, like, why did I do that? Like, I wish I would have done this.
I know why I did it, but I think to myself, what did I learn from it?
That's a
I
really
find
good,
it that I
excellent
have to
outlook.
always go to a positive. I've been my whole entire life, I always look at the glass half full and never
I
half
swear you have
empty.
Sagittarius in your chart. That's so Sagittarius. You might have like I'm a Sag, maybe your moon signs, well, actually you were born almost around Sag season, so you probably have something in Sagittarius in your chart because it makes sense. You almost give me Sagittarius more so than Scorpio. That's why I thought you were Sag also, because you give me Sagittarius. So maybe you have some Sag in your chart also.
I don't know. I mean, I once had somebody gave me a chart and they said, you're a triple Scorpio. And then they ran away. And I said, oh, okay, bye. I don't know what it meant. I
Triple
just,
Scorpio would be
it
Scorpio
scared
Sun,
them.
Scorpio Moon, and Scorpio Rising, I think. So
Yeah.
it'd be, and those are your big signs. Well, actually, Venus and Mars are important too. I don't know. I have a lot of Earth and fire. Well, fire and Earth. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Sagittarius Mercury. I think you have a Sagittarius Mercury probably because that's your expression and like how you express yourself and how you communicate and like talk. So maybe Sagittarius Mercury.
you know, as I said, I've never had tarot cards. I've never had any of that done because I just have found that sometimes it's okay to be an ostrich and keep your head in the sand, and it's all
I
right to do
agree
that
with
because
that, actually, definitely. Some people get too many readings. I'll cut people off occasionally. I haven't done that in a while, but I've cut people off before. Like, you're getting way too many readings, and I can't give you any new information, and I don't want to, like, steal your money, because that's pretty much just stealing your money. I'm not about that, because people have done that to me before, and just in general, it's just not right. So if someone like buys too many readings, for example, I'm like, I'll just refund you because it's
But
not.
don't you find that somebody who does that is looking for another answer and not accepting of what it is?
Yeah, I've done the same thing, so I know firsthand. So yeah, that's what it is. And I've given my answer already. I can't give you a different one. Well, sometimes you do get different outcomes in readings. Like, you'll do a reading one time for someone and it's this outcome, and then you do it a different time and it's another outcome. But eventually you just have to like live your life and let it flow. You can't just like control it. Like, a tornado is going to be a tornado. You can't control a tornado unless you're God or the universe or whoever you believe in. So you just have to kind of flow with it. I mean, that's terrible advice probably for a tornado, but I'm trying to say something. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
No, I've always found when people have asked me if I want to go and have, I don't know, readings or things like that, I've just found, I don't know, maybe I feel more of, I don't want to know. I sort of want everything to be a pleasant surprise, because that will keep your anxiety level down, even if it's true
Definitely.
or not. And I've never been the kind of person that really wants to go and see the future. I guess I'm the kind of person who wants to just live it and be it.
I think that's the best thing to do, honestly. Like, I'm not like arguing against that. I'm always living in the future, so it's definitely a good thing to be in the present. I wish I was more like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Have
my
I been
children
cutting
have
you off,
also,
by the way? I just cut you off when I said that. Have I been cutting you off? Someone said I've been cutting you off the whole time, which I'm not meaning to. If I am, I apologize.
that what?
I've been cutting you off when you're talking. If I am, I apologize.
That's okay.
Someone commented that I have been. I don't mean to. It's just an accident if I do.
I've just found when my children would say things to me, I guess I've learned most of my social graces or my intelligence from my children, and now getting to think to myself, okay, if I screwed up that time, I've got my grandchildren, so I know how to not screw them up. But I've also found that when my children have said, what do you think about this? And I've said to them, I don't know. I don't know what, it's not you have to make the decision of what you want. What do you think? I can advise you, but I can't live it. So you have to basically find it out for yourself.
Definitely, yeah.
And I know a lot of parents don't do that, and they put rules and boundaries and all of that, which I think you have to have structure in your life. I feel you do have to have structure, but rules are made to be broken. And I just don't feel, I've lived through so much chaos from the time in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and I've seen all of that, so that in a way, maybe, or am I jaded? I think so, because when someone does something, I said, I've seen it, I've done it. I've said to my children when they were little, when they were teenagers, I did say to my children, before you think about it, I did it.
Yeah. It's good to be jaded at times. Sometimes you just can't even put your energy into some BS, honestly. Sometimes you just have to, like, move on, and I don't know. I think it's good to be jaded, healthfully jaded, not like too detached where you're not feeling anything, but not too overly attached either. You need to have a balance when it comes to that.
I also think it's really important to respect people's view of things, even when you don't agree with them. I mean, I've listened. I have literally avoided some big screaming battles. We went through an election, and I found myself that you have to accept the fact you are not going to change certain people's minds about certain things. So all you're going to do is get really tired and really frustrated and all that. And I think the best sort of way to cope with that is, instead of getting an incredibly negative view of that person, it's the best thing to do is say, that's okay, I have to leave now, don't get into it, and unless it's something that is very will cause a lot of danger, but just to say, that's the way you feel, and then figure out, do you want to have them in your life?
Yeah, I've definitely learned that, actually, like a few years ago. You can't argue with, you're not going to change people's mind, probably. Like,
and you're not going to, and guess what? Somebody said this to me, and it does make me laugh. You're not going to cure stupid.
Exactly. Yeah, I just keep my mouth shut at this point. I don't like confrontation like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm afraid of confrontation, so I don't even want to fight with you. I used to like have little screaming wars about politics and stuff, but now I'm just like, I don't care. Well, it's not that I don't care. I don't care to fight with you, but I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I have better.
It's called growing up.
Yeah.
I think it's called growing up. And I think that what was important to you when you were 15 16, is not important to you now when you're 20.
Yeah.
I just feel that that's the joy of growing up, that people are different, and you can all of a sudden be one way in your 20s, and then you can be one way in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your 60s. As long, I just feel that as long as you learn,
yeah,
that's the most important thing. If you don't agree with it, that's okay. That's all right. That's your prerogative. That's all right. But I have the prerogative to ask for the check and leave.
Yeah. But you have to tip. You have to make sure to tip still. I'm just kidding. You always tip. I always tip 20%. Make sure to tip good always. You have, especially during the pandemic. Sorry, I'm just kidding. But, well, I actually do tip, but yeah.
I think that's very important. You do have to tip. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you have to be extra generous because all these people have been out of work. So, it's just, as I said, I'm really glad we did this, because you took away the little bit of anxiety that I had about having a tarot reading. And so if we ever decide to do it again, I won't, but I think that because of us talking like this, I probably wouldn't go to anyone else. I would go back to you because it's safe.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's with my business specifically. I'm always very friendly with my clients. That's just my style. I'm just like friendly. Like that's just my personality. It's not something I'm like trying to be or whatever. So I might not be the best reader ever because there's a lot of other probably really good readers, but I'm very personable, if anything, with my readings, and I try to be personable and get to know my clients, not too much because I don't want to know too much. But then for me, I like to not know that much when I read. Like personally, I like to.
But see, that's the hard part with me. That's one of the reasons that I've never done it, because I just feel that somebody's going to say to me, I just always feel that someone's going to go, if I ever wanted, my fortune told or any of that, that someone's going to say, oh, it looks like you came for, or someone famous, or you came from someone famous. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, done.
All right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, wow, I didn't know that. Like, that is so amazing. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, I like to not know anything. Sometimes it's hard when people give me a ton of information. I don't read it.
It's hard when you're born into something, and like I remember when I was doing the photo shoot for a film that I did called Grease 2, and we were doing the photo shoot for one of the big magazines, and the journalist got to all the girls, and they got to me, and they said, how old are you? And I thought, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't really tell. And I said that I was younger, and they said, no, you're not. You're too well documented. And I started to laugh. I thought, I'm busted. I can't lie about anything. It's all out there.
But why did they ask if they know? Like,
because they wanted to see what I would say. And then when I burst out laughing and said, okay, I'm busted, they, I didn't get offended or anything like that. I said, well, I had to give it the old college try.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really good reading for you and talking to you. Sorry if I'm like cutting you off. I have to like go because like my stomach's been growling for like a little bit. And like, I don't know if anyone's been hearing it, but I have to eat because I haven't eaten yet today at all. So
I just find, I mean, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad because I was a little bit apprehensive because I've never had it done. But I felt that you were positive, and you didn't tell me anything that frightened me or did anything. I don't know. I don't, as I said, I sort of shy away from the future, and I live in the now.
Yeah, my thing is, I mean, I am an honest reader. I will give you the truth, but I'm not trying to be like rude about it necessarily. And you can always change the negative outcomes. So I'm not trying to like be like, oh my God, this is gonna be so bad. Everyone goes through struggles, so you're gonna have some type of struggle eventually if you're not having one now.
But what happens if you see that? Do you tell people?
I do see it, and I like last night I just did a reading for someone who's one of my regulars, and I saw something. It wasn't terrible, but I did see negative energies in a way, but I put it out there so they can decide what they want to do. I'm just trying to inform you what may happen. It's not necessarily going to happen, but what may happen if you're going to continue on this path. So I try to be honest with it, and sometimes the answers are more definite than others. Sometimes the universe wants you to decide specifically, and you have to pick between like for example, if there's two different paths, you have to pick which road you're going to go down. Sometimes I very much get what you need to do, but sometimes I don't. It depends the person's energy and stuff too. Everyone's different, so it's not going to be the same for anyone.
But do people come to you and they ask you to read what they want to hear?
Yeah, and they'll get mad at me for not giving them what they want to hear. I haven't had that happen in a while, but that's happened before. That's honestly the worst. Like, it's a headache because I don't do refunds, and I put that in my terms of services. Like, I don't, unless I decide to, like, if I can't do the reading. But if you don't like the answer, I'm still not going to do a refund because I try my best and I actually put my energy into this. Sometimes people just want another reading because they don't like the answer, or that hasn't happened in a while, though. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it's a pet peeve of mine, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't, um, I mean, I thought everything that you said was very positive, and as I said, it was positive, and that's something that I think is really important, especially right now. Um, that
Definitely, yeah.
we all have to come from a way of uh, the negativity has just been there for way too long. And it's really easy to fall down the rabbit hole of negativity.
Definitely.
It really, really is. And it's hard. The hardest thing to do is to step away from the rabbit hole and
Definitely.
just and especially when you're locked up in your house and your kids can't go to school and you don't know where your paycheck is and you don't know if your health is. And we have gone through truly an extraordinary time, and people have had unbelievable loss, and they've had sorrow, and we've watched it all. And now that we have that light at the end of the tunnel, I feel that there is a sense of just being able to put our shoulders down and to breathe.
Yeah.
And I think that it's great that, yes, I'm gonna, be back in New York in October at 54 below, and I cannot wait. I can't wait to be
I
on a
love New York.
stage and to see people, and to uh, be able to say thank you to
Definitely, yeah.
the audiences who have come back to support us and who have done all this. I think this has been, I mean, it's been a challenge for them. It certainly has been a challenge for us. And I know what it's like. My daughter is getting married next weekend. Um, and
Congratulations, by the way.
I know we have a big wedding, but her husband to be, who they've been together quite a long time, he is a firefighter. So I
Oh,
know
wow.
what those people go through. I know what those first responders go to. They're in my
Yeah.
family. And I just think to myself, those people are heroes. Those people, firefighters, are heroes. When
Yeah.
everybody's running out, they're running in. And people like that, that's who I admire. And that's who I want to know about. That's who I want to say, how do you do that? Because I don't think I
Not
could
like Kim
ever.
Kardashian, like taking selfies. She's not a hero. No offense, I'm not trying to shade her, but we need to hear more about those type of people, not like people that take selfies for a living. We need to like showcase, spotlight more of those types of people.
I think that it's really important. And I think also that you should be really, really proud of the people that have been there for all of us going through this whole time. And
Hell, even before this, like before this time, they still go through a lot. Even during like a normal non-pandemic time, they're still like putting up a lot, sacrificing a lot emotionally. They're sacrificing time with their families, so they're always putting in extra energy, even if it's not like a pandemic, even if it's just like a regular Tuesday, like in
but I think
2019.
that I also think that we've learned a great deal, and there certainly is a huge part of a generation, 2 generations, of uh, of hopefully people will have learned something from what we have gone through. As I said, in this past 18, 19 months that it's been, that what we have seen, that we've seen illness, and we've seen terror, and we've seen sadness, and we have seen people take to the streets, and we've seen all of that. I sat and watched everything, and I thought, I've been through this. I've seen this before. Hopefully, people will take and learn
Yeah,
just learn something. I don't care what it is, but learn from, you may not find that you wanted to, I'm a kid of the 60s. So, I mean, I get it. I get taken to the streets.
Yeah.
I understand it. And I think to myself, if that's what you want and need to do, do it. Okay. Because we did it. And I
Definitely.
think that
Yeah.
that's important, but learn from it and try, when they say, does history repeat itself?
I
Yeah,
was just going to
sometimes
say
it
something
does.
about that. Yeah, we need to learn history. We need to learn from history for once. We never learn. I feel like it's kind of old. We need to actually learn this time. But like I said, humans are very stubborn. So kind of hard.
I don't know
But
if
yeah.
we're stubborn as much as we are the kinds of people that, I mean, certainly I have found that because I've traveled the world so much, I have found that's the one thing I love. I love documentaries. I love to hear people's stories. I love to find out about different cultures. But the biggest thing I love to find out is I want a question to the why.
Yeah.
And that's what I find to be fascinating is I know why you're doing this now, but why did people do it before you? What have you learned? What, just do homework about everything. Do homework about the entertainment business. Do homework about what you're involved in. If you are involved in find out what came before you.
Yeah, my reader who I go to personally, I think she just said the other day, you can find a lesson or a purpose in almost anything. Like you could go very deep into like anything, even a minute thing. Like you could like go into why this occurred. Even like I said, even if it's like a small event or something, you can always learn from it or figure out
Yeah,
why
I mean,
this
you can
happened.
learn, and you can learn positive, and you can learn the negative of why you don't want to do that again, or why
Yeah,
you don't want to be there again, or why you feel, all right, I've been there, I've seen this, and I choose not to go back and do that. But you've learned. I
yeah. So
think the
you
biggest
shouldn't.
problem,
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't
think,
diminish the experience. Sorry, I'm cutting up.
no, I'm saying to you, the thing that I found to be positive about this pandemic is that we all had to stop. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I
I
think that,
agree.
as I said, I felt like we were all on the Autobahn going 60 miles an hour, and we didn't care about relationships. We didn't care how we treated people. We didn't care what we said, and we didn't know, and we didn't, and then all of a sudden we had to stop. We had to stop. And I don't think that's a bad thing because when you're all by yourself in your house, no matter what it is, apartment, wherever you are, and you have to stop and listen to what you're learning. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to stop and
Definitely.
reevaluate what you stand for, what you believe in, what is real, what isn't real. And I think I feel that that's okay. And that's what I've gotten from this pandemic. Also, I have found myself with the biggest gift, which is to listen more.
I could learn to listen more since I keep cutting you off. But yeah, definitely. I think this pandemic has really helped us sit. And I've been kind of in quarantine even before the pandemic. I don't know. I just do online school and stuff, so I'm kind of been in a quarantine even before. So I've definitely learned to slow down and discover what's actually like real and true about life. And there's stuff outside of social media and the internet. Like I really I want to get connected to like the real world again when the pandemic is over, which it's close, but not yet. But yeah.
No, I think that I think when we do go back into the real world and theaters are open and I can perform and we can go back to all of that, I think we're going to go back with a whole new set of eyes and a whole new set of grateful.
Yeah. It's going to
and
be
a
a
whole,
renaissance. It's going to be a renaissance.
I hope so. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to go back and to be able to just be among audience members and people, and to go back and say, I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah,
You know, I think that that's going to be really important, and it's going to be scary too,
yeah.
because
But
I think that a lot of us, I know myself, that I remember when we were able to go out to a restaurant here where I live, and we went out, and I thought to myself, I should be happy, but yet I'm anxious, and I'm a bit frightened, and this, that, and the other. And then I thought to myself, okay, this is what, in a very odd way, people who have talked about PTSD and the scars that when you go through something really traumatic, it can lead to. And all of a sudden, I started thinking, we've all gone through some kind of scarring, and we have to learn
definitely, yeah.
to basically say, all right, we've been through that. What did we learn? And how are we going to make it different? And how are we going to make it better?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hate to cut you off, but I actually have to get off now. I feel bad for
Okay.
I don't want to cut you off, but I have to get off now. Sorry. Like I don't know
Okay.
if it's a good time to like say that, but thank you so much for coming on live with me. Thank you so much for doing a read-in with me, and thank you for the conversation.
Oh,
You actually gave really good advice,
thank
better than I
you.
gave probably, for sure.
Thank you for making my first tarot reading um, incredibly pleasant.
Yeah. I
And
hope it
and
resonated, and it was really good stuff. It was actually really good energy coming into your life. It's like the world card too. The first card I got is like a new cycle as well. So that's actually another good sign. And death card is a new cycle as well. It seems like a bad energy, but it's really just like an ending leading into a new beginning. So in my opinion, it's a good energy.
it feels like we're just going into spring.
Exactly. It looks like spring outside too from my window. So yeah.
There you go. So I want to
But
thank
yeah,
everyone
hopefully,
also who tuned into you.
yeah.
And I hope I didn't prattle on and go on a bit too much and all of that. But I hope that you and I stay in touch with each other. And I thank you so much for um, your gracious hosting of this.
Yep. And sorry if I talked over you.
That's okay.
Sometimes it's hard to talk when it's like well, it's not a Skype, but it's kind of like a Skype. So
Well,
sometimes it's
here's
like,
what I hope. I hope the next time we meet, we can meet in person.
yeah, I want to go to LA so bad. I'm in
What a
Wisconsin.
concept!
I'm in Wisconsin right now, so not
That's
fun.
okay.
Yeah. So if you
That's
ever come to
okay. You
Wisconsin,
never know when people are traveling that we may be in Wisconsin, I may be there. And if we are, we will sit, and I promise you, we'll have coffee.
yeah. What a weird concept in this world, but yeah.
How odd. Yeah.
But yeah,
But we're
thank
headed
you
that
everyone
way,
for
so that's great.
watching. Yeah, thank you everyone for
Sorry?
watching. Thank you so much for going live with me. I appreciate it so much, and I
Oh,
hope to stay in
sure.
contact. You have my information.
I hope. Thank you so very, very much.
Yep. Well, thank
And
you
have
guys.
a great rest of your week, and have a fantastic weekend.
You too, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend as well. And yeah, I'm wishing you guys so many blessings and all that. And thank you guys so much. And yeah, make sure to follow me and Lorna. I'm sure you guys already follow her, but I have to throw in a little self promo. Make sure to follow me if you could put up with me. Make sure to follow me. And yeah.
And I guess I should say the same thing of following me.
Yeah, follow her. Follow her.
And I don't know
Even though
how
everyone
you do
published
that, but you will know.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll talk soon.
Okay, hon. Thank you, Ethan.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.